Hello and welcome to this introduction to Breathwork. My name's Jamie. Over the next 2 to 3 days on our immersion as a group, we'll be breaking down how we can use Breathwork as a tool to understand ourselves on a deeper level and be able to use that to be able to optimize performance and our well-being. The simple act of man, many would say, would have saved my life, but I like to say it actually showed me my life and myself underneath all of the layers of human conditioning, and it's actually given me access to a life that I never actually knew was possible until I started Breathwork, which was 5 years ago now. So it still blows my mind how something so simple and accessible can have such a profound transformation on the body, the mind, the spirit, and the connections that we have. And with that, I've been down a passionate 5-year rabbit hole, learning from the best in the field of breathing, physiology, spirituality, to be able to deepen my knowledge and experience and the embodiment of this practice and modality. And like, it's been a ride, and I'll share more of that over our weekend. But breathwork is essentially the most accessible modality for healing, for performance, for well-being. It's not biased, it's not racist, it doesn't discriminate, it's free, it's available 24/7 to any gender, any race, any culture, male, female, young, old. And the best of all, the effects that it actually has on our life are tangible and felt effectively and immediately. So although this has skyrocketed in the last couple of years, I can guarantee you now that it's not actually a trend. It's been here since the dawn of humankind. It's the first thing that we do when we're born, and it's the last thing that we do when we go. And it's been used in tradition and culture now for thousands and thousands of years. And now it's known by scholars and experts in the medical fields, and it's backed by thousands and thousands of research papers now, which is really, really amazing. So it's no longer just seen as this left of field methodology as such, or using in the spiritual realms, but it's now seen as basically the bridge that links science and spirituality, the head and the heart, and moves us from illness into wellness, into a life that we choose. And the approach we use in sharing the power of the breath in our immersions is an integrated approach that we bring to our community, and it's explained in digestible, simple terms. It can be explored, it can be critically analyzed, and we can have constructive conversations around this while keeping it grounded and really enhancing its power with our intentions around the practice itself. So I'll spend time over the days looking at things through the lens of the breath that will ultimately give rise to an understanding of a deeper understanding ourselves deeper, and starting with, like, what is breathwork? And well, it's the act of taking conscious control of your breath. Instead of the body breathing you start to learn how to breathe the body. And there is no perfect way to breathe. There is no perfect breath. There isn't a right way or a wrong way. There is a large variety of different ways in which we can breathe that essentially creates this umbrella or spectrum of breathwork. And within that umbrella, there's many, many different ways we can breathe. And how it goes is, on the right-hand side of the spectrum, we have techniques that are more associated with, like, the medical literature and academics. And this is where we start to look at the relationship between stress and our breath, and how that links to stress and well-being, and how we start to see how disease is linked to breathing dysfunction. And then we can start to see how when we take control of our breath, we can actually learn how to restore how we're born to breathe. And when we can do this, and we learn in such a way, we basically, like, reset our nervous system one day at a time. It brings us back into our body. And this is where we dive into in day one. And then we can move to the other side of the spectrum, which is more left of field. This is the fireworks. This is where we move more into the conscious connected breathing techniques, more commonly known as, like, holotropic. This is also in sometimes rebirthing, Wim Hof, and these create altered states of consciousness. They move us out of our heads into our bodies, where deeper emotional stress and trauma releases occur as a result of connecting to our breath in these ways. And as we learn to access our sympathetic nervous system in a safe environment and create safety from within our body, this creates opportunity for healing, for growth, and for possibility in our life. And after working with thousands of people now from all walks of life, it's very clear that we need the full spectrum of these breathwork practices to give us the best access and best possibility to well-being in our life. There's a breath for everyone, for every emotion, every action within our life. And a quote that lands for me the most is, "The bodily form needs the breath and the breath needs bodily form." So in other words, that's why we're here on this journey individually and together, to learn how to breathe, how to master your breath, to master your life, how to master your nervous system. And you'll start to see why the breath is actually the remote control to your nervous system, and how we can use it to shift your programs, to tune into the energy up and down, to bring a whole new level of awareness into your life. And I'm really excited for the next few days and sharing this with you, and this integrated approach to breathwork with the intention of you not only walking away with just an amazing experience or an amazing immersion, but actual real world skills that we can use beyond this experience together. So as we embark on this journey together, and before I see you, I ask nothing more of you than an open heart and an open mind and a willingness just to be the student of your breath. And until I see you, I want you to breathe deep and smile big. Big love, team.